Everybody knows that, the importance of connectivity to small towns. And since being on town council and mayor, I get 20 to 30 questions a year about, how can we have better internet? How can we have better TV service to the Eastern Shore?
How can you help a business grow, or how can you attract a new business to an area like this if they don't have access to broadband? Let's talk about telehealth. Prior to COVID-19, and my background is in healthcare, all of our patient contacts were in person. Now 75% of our patient contacts are through telehealth. Now, if individuals don't have access to the internet, then they don't have access to healthcare.
Now more than ever, having slow and unreliable internet has become a personal and educational and, as our governor mentioned, a medical handicap. In business, it can be embarrassing and a frustrating waste of time and energy. Small towns and communities have been in the back of the line waiting for quality, dependable internet service.
Charter is committed to being a part of a comprehensive solution to close the digital divide. And our commitment is evidenced in a number of ways, including our efforts to build out to homes as we've done here, our commitment to extending digital literacy through digital education, and our efforts to make sure that our technology is accessible and affordable.
I would have to say this, is that we cannot in Charter control the weather, but we're really good at deploying broadband services. It's something that we've been looking forward to for a long time. Since 2018, Charter extended its world-class services to almost 1.5 million households across the United States.
From the federal level, this is part of making an investment in infrastructure. So when we talk about investing in infrastructure now, it's not just roads and bridges and tunnels and rail and ports, but it includes the internet as well. And I will continue with my commitment as a representative in Washington to try to bring those resources back. And through incentives that help internet service providers like Spectrum and Charter and others bring internet to everyone in these communities.
Charter, as you've heard, is deeply committed to its work, trying to find comprehensive solutions to address the digital divide. This includes efforts to make broadband more accessible in rural areas, to make it more accessible for low-income families, to make it more accessible for telehealth and telemedicine. Over the last 2 years alone, we've connected 1.5 million new homes. About a third of those are in rural areas, so we continue to build out our network to reach more places.
When I came into office, the amount of resources that were going into broadband were about $4 million a year. But I'm pleased to tell you today that we have introduced $52 million that will go toward broadband in the next 2 years. And then through the CARES Act, which is the COVID relief that came from our federal level, we've added another $30 million. So there's about $82 million available throughout the Commonwealth of Virginia to work with companies like Charter and Spectrum, who, by the way, are putting up $20 million. So when you put all of our resources together and we work together, we can make things like this happen.
Thankfully, on the Eastern Shore, things are changing, and quickly. Before Spectrum rolled into town, my home and business, all right here on Market Street, was getting about 5 to 10 megabits per second in internet speed, and sometimes nothing at all. I think I was the first in town to sign up with Spectrum, and within a week I was enjoying download speeds of over 100 megabits. And for the first time in 20 years, I have crystal clear voice communications. No more walking around town. People who've been here have seen this. People walking around town finding the sweet spots to try to get a text message to go out or try to get something. No more having to apologize to clients and family for bad connection.
And I think Spectrum has stepped up and invested quite a bit of money on the Eastern Shore to give us better connectivity. It enables a little small town like Anancock to compete with the rest of the world. And we are finally getting to the point now where the question is, do we have it? It's just how much bandwidth do you want?
We've expanded broadband to about 108,000 families throughout Virginia, but there are about 500,000 families that still don't have access, a lot of them here on the Eastern Shore. So this investment of $20 million and what we have put in at the state level is an investment in our economy.
We may be little America, but we do have big internet now. We can dream big, we can plan big, and we can achieve big. Thank you very much.